what the heck is Web3 infrastructure? Just a new buzzword? Does it actually mean anything? Is the buzz worth it? That's what we're going to talk about in this video. Hey, and I'm Blockchain Bernie. I'm broadcasting live and 3 times a week. So if you like content like this, don't forget to smash the like button. So Web3 infrastructure. Let's start with Web3. So we all know Web3 is such a term that we don't really have a common definition that we all agree on. My definition is quite clear, right? We all know what Web 2 is. It's the second generation of the web that we're all using right now, right? And it's dominated by a lot of large companies like Google, Meta, aka Facebook, Twitter, all the others that dominate that, right? And there is an experiment going on. Like, what if we use blockchain technology, right? And blockchain and crypto technology is there in order to make things decentralized, right? And decentralize control. So that is very important, right? Because there is some misinformation going on, and people are like, oh, decentralized. My system is also decentralized. Yeah, we have distributed decentralized systems and we have been having those for a long time, and they might be geographically distributed, but there's no decentralized control, right? Many of these systems, think about all those Google, Meta, Twitter that I mentioned. Of course, they are decentralized because there's so many servers all over the world, but they are all controlled by one single organization, right? So decentralized control, that's what it's all going to be about, right? So that is Web3. And in the end, what is Web3? It's a big experiment that humankind is undertaking. And that experiment is, will we be able to build a world where control is more and more decentralized? Where we don't have these centralized systems like the large banks, like FTX, which was a big centralized exchange, right? And like the web giants, the Web 2 giants that I mentioned. And we want to find out, as mankind, humankind, can we build something that's really truly decentralized, right? And that's where Web3 comes into place, because Web3 is not running on conventional servers, right? If you have a conventional server, there is one company, sometimes one person that controls it, right? But if the software is running on a blockchain, you have thousands of validator nodes, and control is completely decentralized, with some blockchains more and some blockchains less, and there's different measures on how decentralized each one of our layer 1 blockchains is. But in general, control is decentralized, and it's a very different thing from those centralized servers. So that's Web3. And the thing is, it is unavoidable that we as humankind want to find out, is there a way we can we can rewrite all the apps that are on Web 2 these days into D apps, decentralized apps running on the blockchain, and then have all the functionality that we depend on today, right? We depend on Google and on Facebook and on Twitter and on, eBay and whatever your tools are, right? They are all highly centralized. And people grow up more and more, right? People will take more and more parts of their lives into their own hands. And if you look around, you see that trend everywhere, right? And if you think like what our parents did and grandparents did, right? They were, being told what to do, what tools to use, and stuff like that, and they just did it. And we are growing up, you know, as humanity more and more, and we need the decentralized tools to be able to do that. So Web3 is going to come. So now everyone says like, uh, where is Web3, right? And the key reason is Web3 is not in everyone's mind yet. the key reason is you, because you have not clicked the like button. So smash that like button so that more people will learn about Web3 and all these technology, and also subscribe to my channel, please. So back to Web3 infrastructure, right? We need the infrastructure to make Web3 easy. All the startups that build Web3 technology, right? And there are companies right now, just as, for example, HiveMapper. They build a Web3 version of Google Maps, right? All the maps will not be owned by one central company, right? You drive with your dash cam through the roads and it's going to be stored on the blockchain by HiveMapper. And boom, you have your decentralized control version of Google Maps, which is just awesome, right? There are Web3 versions of Uber in the works, right? And so many things are going on. But for these developers, it is hard to build these days because the infrastructure is not there. So Web3 infrastructure means, first of all, providers that provide nodes, validator nodes, RPC nodes, where these developers can run their code, right? So that's the main thing of the word infrastructure, right? Having the server infrastructure, the hardware infrastructure, the validator infrastructure, right? And there are companies out there that focus on that, right? But we need more than that. For example, with the current blockchains that we have, it's easy to get some compute power there. And many of the layer one blockchains, they wouldn't give enough compute power to run any major apps, right? So if you want to run a high volume D app, decentralized app with millions of users, as of today, you wouldn't be able to run it on Ethereum, right? You wouldn't even be able to run it on other L1 blockchains, right? But the fastest one that I know about is Solana, so that's why we build our stuff on Solana. Still highly recommended, and you know, it's just the fastest L1 blockchain, public L1 blockchain that's in the market. So we have some compute power there. But what is badly missing in Web3 infrastructure is the storage capacity, right? All these Web2 apps that we have today, right, that we were talking about, they need vast amount of storage. And if we want to run that social experiment to find out, you know, can we become a completely decentralized technology society, right? Not depending on centralized web apps anymore, right? And there is no way around that. You know, we as humanity, we will want to find out, right? So all these Web3 apps are being built, but we need the infrastructure, right? We have the L1 blockchain infrastructure. We don't have a storage infrastructure that has truly decentralized control these days, right? It's just as it is. We cannot store large amount of data on any L1 chain. We cannot store any large amount of data on Solana because it would be prohibitively expensive, right? And each and every of the thousands of validators would have to keep that that data replicated in their storage, and even have to keep it in RAM, in memory, and that would be so expensive, right? So we need that storage layer that is truly decentralized and that works together with these L1 chains, right? There are some storage chains, but those are for, you know, storage only, like standalone storage chains. But we don't have a storage technology right now that is a storage layer for the smart contracts, right? And that's what we need to build those future Web3 apps. It's just missing. And that's what we set out to build, right? So I happen to be also the CEO and founder of Bitoku Labs, and we are building Bitoku, which is the storage layer for L1 blockchains, right? And we start with Solana, as I mentioned, just because it's the fastest technology that's out there right now. And, you know, it's not like we're married with Solana. It can work with others as well. But of course, we need that scalability, right? So That's what we're building. It's bitoku.io. See that link in the description. So that's why all those VCs and everyone else is talking about Web3 infrastructure these days. Because in order to make Web3 happen and in order to make it a reality, so that everyone will see, oh, I can use that, and oh, it's that easy, you know, that's where we need to arrive. And crypto was like the early days of the internet, right? I remember the internet in the 90s, and everyone was like, what are you doing there? And does that have any effect on real life? So, you know, and it took a while until, smart companies and startups have built the web 1 and then the web 2 to really make it easy for people, and then everyone gets it and says, wow, that I can use that, right? And it's going to happen with Web3 as well, right? So if anyone's, going to tell you and spread some FUD, some fear, uncertainty, and doubt, like, is Web3 ever going to happen? It is crazy to assume it will not happen, right? It's just, it will. Yeah. And we need the infrastructure. We're building the critical infrastructure for that. And I'll show you here in a quick video from a lady named Katie Haun. So Katie Haun, she's running Haun Ventures. It's the largest venture fund for crypto projects. It is the she has raised $1.5 billion from her investors last year and is running the largest crypto fund, right? And it's not like, the largest amount ever raised by a woman or something. It's the largest amount, right? And let's see what she has to say here. So
that are consumer-facing applications. And I think one of the things we're seeing right now is the infrastructure layer, and that's where we're spending a lot of our time, by the way. And we think more and more use cases will come about when the infrastructure layer is in place.
all right, so you heard what Katie said. The infrastructure layer it's all about, and she, with her largest VC investment fund, she's really focused on Web3 infrastructure, and that's what we need. And I hope with this little video, you now understand why that is so important and why it's going to be a thing of the future. Please, please, please use your finger and your mouse and smash the like button, destroy the like button, because we need the word out to more users. And also subscribe to my channel, hit the notification